The New York Knicks have completely shocked me this season. After having their first mildly decent offseason in the last decade almost, they came into this year and they started strong, and now that we're more than halfway through the season, they are still going strong. This team is in the playoffs. They're the 7th seed. They've got a winning record. Granted, that record is only 20-19, but still, a winning record's a winning record, especially for the frickin' Knicks, alright? And Tom Thibodeau has absolutely 100% lived up to his reputation as a defensive coach. This dude is getting every last I don't know what the word I'm looking for here is. Let's say drop. Every last drop of defense out of these players. And it's not that this team's bad defensively, okay? Or at least the talent on this team is not terrible defensively. Don't get me wrong. There are some very good defensive players on this team. Mitchell Robinson, Elfrid Payton, Barrett and Randall have both been decent on that end this year. There's a couple other guys, alright? It's not like this team should be just some horrible defense. All the credit does not go to Thibodeau. But still, you don't look at this lineup and say, oh yeah, that's going to be the 4th best defense in the entire NBA this year, when there's teams out there like the Sixers, the Jazz, the 2 LA teams, even teams like the Celtics and the Raptors and the Heat, who are usually very good on defense. It's crazy that the Knicks have been this good on defense, and it doesn't look like it's going to change. It really doesn't. I thought earlier, I was like, alright, the ball's going to drop at some point. This team's going to fall off, they're going to get hit hard, and they're going to finish the season as like the 11th seed or something. And that's going to be it. It was going to be a nice little start to the season, but at the end of the day, the Knicks are still the Knicks. But no, it looks like they're genuinely a very... Why did I say genuinely like that? They are legitimately a very good team this year. Alright, maybe very good's a stretch. They're legitimately a good team this year. And so I'm going to look at this team and determine if they can keep this up and be a real playoff threat, and what does this mean for the future of the New York Knicks. So first of all, 4th best defense in the league has been fantastic. We'll go over that more with a few individual players though. First of all, talking about the Knicks, you got to start with Julius Randle. The man was an all-star this year for the first time, and he absolutely deserved it. I saw a whole lot of people complaining originally that, he got more votes than Sabonis or some other guys, and I gotta be honest, I really think Randle deserved to be an all-star more than Sabonis this season. I think he's been playing better than him. Julius Randle is having an absolutely fantastic season. He's averaging 23, 11, and 6, along with a steal, and he's shooting 48% from the field and 41% from 3. Julius Randle. This man last year, his entire game was just the spin move. What the heck happened? Where did he learn to be this great of a passer and a good three-point shooter? I have no idea. But Julius Randle has been fantastic this year. Absolutely deserved to be an all-star. And man, I'm happy for you Knicks fans. You guys really got a good player. He's only 26. He can be good for a very long time. Now, I don't know how his fit is with Obi Toppin, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Alright, we'll get to Obi in a little bit. Next up on the roster, Elfrid Payton has been great for this team. He's a very good defensive player. He's averaging 13 points. He's only averaging 4 assists, but I think that kind of undersells his playmaking. He's just a real solid, starting point guard. 44% from the field. Nothing great, nothing special, but he's just a real solid all-around role-playing point guard. Mitchell Robinson, 8 points a game on 66% from the field, 8 rebounds. The dude is basically what everyone hoped he would be. He has finally got his freaking fouls down. He's still averaging 3 a game on 29 minutes, which isn't amazing numbers by any means, but considering the last 2 seasons he was averaging, I think he was averaging 6 fouls a game on 20 minutes. The dude has gotten way better at not fouling, and even though his block numbers are down, do not get it twisted. Mitchell Robinson is easily having the best season of his career, and Thibodeau, I think part of it's Thibodeau, and part of it is that he's clearly put the work in. He's worked on his game, and he's gotten better, and I'm just really happy for him. Mitchell Robinson is doing good, and he's playing great. Last, for the starters anyway, I actually don't know who the 5th starter is on this team. I don't know if it's Bullock or what, but last of the initial really good players on this team, RJ Barrett. 17 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal, and he's shooting 45% from the field and 36% from 3. Now those are not mind-blowing numbers by any means, but considering he's 20 years old, in his second season, he's got a ton of pressure on him, and he really didn't have a great rookie year last season. He really wasn't playing that good. He was insanely inconsistent, and he's still a little inconsistent this season, don't get me wrong. But the dude, he's made a massive jump, I will say, from his rookie year. And once again, only 20 years old. Things are looking very, very good for RJ Barrett. It might be a little too soon to say he's like a future, like, legit star level player. But man, he's looking real dang good on this Knicks team. His defense has improved this season as well. Then you got some other real solid players like Reggie Bullock. Well, actually no, Reggie Bullock's kind of played like butt this season. He really hasn't been that good. But Alec Burks, who's missed a lot of games due to injury, but when he has played, he's been very solid. Derrick Rose, who they got in a trade, has been very solid for this team. Nerlens Noel doesn't do much, but he plays decent defense in the minutes that he's in. Austin Rivers is okay. Emmanuel Quickley has been great. The dude is getting Rookie of the Year talks right now, and even though I think that's a little bit overblown, like let's chill out a little bit. I think if he was on any other team, he would not be in the Rookie of the Year conversation whatsoever. I'm just being honest. But 13 points a game, 2-2, not bad. Now he only shoots 40% from the field, which is pretty bad, but he does shoot 38% from 3 and 92% from the free throw line, so he has a good shot. I think the issue partially comes from this team just not having great spacing around him, and the fact that he's a young guard. Usually when guards first come to into the NBA, especially smaller guards, they tend to struggle in their first season. But right now he's averaging more assists than turnovers, which is a good sign, and in fact he has a very good assist to turnover ratio. 2.4 to 1 is a very good number for a young guard. The dude just looks real freaking solid, and I expect him to be very good in a season or two. The last guy on this team, Obi Toppin. He has missed a lot of games this season. When he has played, he's been very inconsistent with his minutes. He's shooting 50% from the field, but he's only taking 4 shots a game, only averaging 5 points. I really don't know what to make of Toppin. I just don't. I saw more of him in the dunk contest than I saw him actually play this season, so I don't know what to say about him. I'd say it's too early in his career to really make a big impression, because Julius Randle's just been balling out so much that there's no real space for Obi Toppin to get real minutes, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see what Obi Toppin ends up doing next year, or for the rest of this year. Right now I don't have much of an opinion on him. So the Knicks have been great this year, okay? Well, by their standards, they've been great. 4th best defense, once again. 23rd best offense is not a great number, but it isn't terrible either. It's certainly not the bottom of the league. And I could absolutely see this team maintaining the 7th or the 8th seed and making the playoffs. Now, do I think they're going anywhere in the playoffs? No. Honestly, like, I'm just going to be straight with you. I don't. Sorry, Knicks fans. I don't think this team makes it out of the first round in any way. They are going to run to the Nets or the Sixers or the Bucks, and they're going to get schmacked. But it's not the end of the world. They missed the playoffs for, I don't know, like the last 6 seasons or something. They've been a bad team, so making the playoffs, even only the first round, is a big step in the right direction. It looks like they have a good coach now for the future. They've got some very solid young players in Barrett, Randle. Yes, I'm going to call him a young player because he's only 26. Barrett, Randle, Toppin, and Quickley. We're going to see what they can do. Even if Kevin Knox is still on the team and he still sucks butt, maybe one day he'll be semi-passable off the bench. Who knows? There is one issue I have with this team, though, and it's, well, kind of 2 issues, but mainly one. Let me see how I want to word this. They have one issue, okay? I don't know why the hell I'm rambling. The issue with this team is that they kind of have a lot of overlapping positional talent, specifically at the guard spots. You see this a little bit with the power forward, because Obi Toppin should clearly be playing power forward, and Julius Randle should also be playing power forward, so it doesn't work where these guys, you know, they're never going to share minutes together, because their games are just, they would not be compatible whatsoever. I can't imagine watching these two together on the court, unless maybe one of them was playing center. Like, if you had decided to have Randle as a small ball center, maybe it would work, but in general, they're never going to share the court, so I don't see how Toppin ever ends up getting real minutes on this team as long as Randle is here, especially now that Randle is playing at an all-star level. The bigger issue, however, is the guard spot, and this specifically is about Emmanuel Quickley. Alright, RJ Barrett clearly has the starting shooting guard position locked up, but if you look at the point guard spot, you've got a ton of dudes who can be a point guard here. You've got Elfrid Payton, who's 26, he's playing great. Well, he's playing fine. Okay, he's bad on offense. Let's just keep it real. He's not a very good offensive player. He's a good playmaker, but he's a bad scorer. He doesn't provide spacing. He doesn't really fit that well with RJ Barrett because RJ Barrett is also more of a slasher. Julius Randle should be in the post more. Mitchell Robinson obviously can't space the floor. He does not help this team with a spacing issue that they need. It really should be Emmanuel Quickley over him. But Elfrid Payton is more consistent. He's more of a veteran leadership, even though he's only, 26 years old. He's going to start over Emmanuel Quickley for a little while. So he's getting minutes over him. Then you got Reggie Bullock. You've got Alec Burks. You've got Derrick Rose. All three of these guys, you've also got Austin Rivers. All four of these guys are 28 years old or older, with Derrick Rose being all the way at 32. And all of them are good enough, even Reggie Bullock, even though he's kind of trash, but all of them are good enough to get somewhat rotation minutes on a team. But they should not be ahead of Emmanuel Quickley here. And yet, all of them play more minutes than Emmanuel Quickley for the Knicks. Now, maybe it's because Quickley's defense isn't great and Thibodeau doesn't trust him, or just doesn't generally trust super young, inexperienced players, but you can't be playing these guys over Emmanuel Quickley. If you want this dude to be the star that a bunch of Knicks fans are already saying he's going to be, you can't be sitting here and playing all these old players who are in or past their primes over him. You need to let your young guy develop. I don't know how this is going to fix itself. I know some of these guards are only on one-year deals right now. They're going to be gone. But I'm just saying, it doesn't make sense to me to keep playing all these older veteran players over your young players. Even if it makes your team a little bit worse, I think you need to find a way to give Emmanuel Quickley, and also Obi Toppin needs to find a way to get minutes. You can't just have these guys riding your bench. There's no reason to have them on the team if they're not going to be doing anything. Now, with that said, this team's been very good. That is an issue for the future. That is something the Knicks can figure out later. It just is something that gives me a little bit of pause for this team's future, especially if Thibodeau, you know he likes vets. He likes guys who know what they're doing. He's not as much of a... what's the word I'm looking for? Like, he doesn't really build up young players into better players. He likes to take vets or players who kind of do that stuff on their own and then let them do their thing. So I'm not sure if he's the best coach for a young developing team, but the Knicks have looked good this season, and it's always good to get some winning culture onto a team that has been sorely lacking it for a while now. So right now, things are looking up for the New York Knicks, y'all. They are looking up. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. Thank you all for watching, and have a great rest of your day.